What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my tag team partner, BrianTronic. How's it going, man?
It feels good to be back again, Huey.
I swear, I've said this before to you, Brian. If I ever need to find someone that can help me disappear off the face of the earth, it's you, man. Like, there are days you just disappear.
I've been moving around, moving and grooving, traveling. I'm kidding.
Well, I know. In real talk, I know you got stuff going on and all that stuff. But like, seriously, when you need to disappear, you know how to. So, like I said, if like the feds ever come after me or something like that, I'm going to you, Brian. For
I don't know if I'll be able to get away from them, but
But we are not alone tonight. I'm super excited for this. Brian, we're expanding. We're not a tag team tonight. We're gonna make this a trios match, which is very fitting because it is SummerSlam week. One of the big four pay-per-views is happening this Saturday, SummerSlam 2023. So I figure for this prediction show, we need some backup, some extra help in this. So I'm super excited. Join us tonight. You know him, of course, from American Idol fame and just a badass rock star, but also a huge wrestling fan. It's James Durbin. How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place. Yeah, I'm doing good.
I don't remember the last time I drank a full beer, and I'm almost there. So
you inspired. I need to get a Steve Weiser. I got some Stone Cold beer in my fridge. I need to get one out right now.
Ever since I almost saw your dad's ass, I knew I had to start.
I know. Sorry,
again. So
that was off the air, Brian. Sorry you missed that too. That's a problem. We're recording from home, so. But no, dude. Like I said, I'm super happy and excited that you're joining us tonight. We go way back, kind of technically in a way. Well, we finally get to meet in person. I was going to say last month, but technically almost 2 months ago now in June. You had a big hometown show for yourself with your metal band Durbin over at the Blue Lagoon in Santa Cruz. So with of course, State Line Empire, my coworker Chasta, her husband's band. That was such an amazing night. But no, it was just a trip. Like I haven't been in that area before in Santa Cruz. Like for me, when I go to Santa Cruz, I'm from Alameda, so I'm a little up north from you. So whenever I go to Santa Cruz, I always just go down to the beach boardwalk. That's kind of just been where my family always go every year. But I really want to go to this show. And so I finally found parking. I'm walking, and there you are walking right across the street. So it was like, hey, what's up, dude? Hey. So no, it's great to finally meet you in person. That was a really fun night.
It was a blast. It was a lot of work. It was real hot in that club. I think when you were walking down the street, I was walking the other way singing "Do I Diddy Diddy Dum Diddy Do" with a breakfast burrito and a paper bag. And man, it was just that night was just great. It was a wonderful, lineup of bands that night with War Corpse, Phantom Witch, State Line Empire, and Durbin capping it all off. And it was a lot of work, but it was a great payoff. And not financially speaking, but as far as like putting your I don't know, the good energy out there and getting nothing but good energy back, it was really wonderful.
Exactly. I mean, to give you props was. Once again, in case, well, by the way, I should throw this out there. For this podcast, we're going to talk all wrestling, but I do recommend, I'll link it up in this video as well. Please check out the recent interview Chasta did with you. That's over on the Bones YouTube channel. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. But that was a great 30-minute chat, just kind of going over everything you've been up to lately. You have a great Chris Jericho story in there. So I definitely recommend watching that and just you can hear kind of what you've been up to lately, especially in most recent years, kind of post-pandemic and stuff. But one thing that was brought up in there that was really cool, and you even brought up at the show, was how you put the show together, which was just kind of, if I remember correctly, just kind of solicited on Instagram, like, hey, any great metal, hard rock bands in the area that want to play a show with me, right?
Yeah, so I was just sitting here in my studio and just was scratching my head. I want to play a show. Who do I play with? Well, ask Instagram. you know, people are going to respond. So I did. I said, hi, James Durbin here. Tyler Breeze here. James Durbin here. And dated reference. Austin Theory here. Logan Paul here. And phone gimmick guy here. And yeah, just put it out there of like, I want to play a show in Santa Cruz. And wants to play. And so there was a lot of bands so many bands responded, and fortunately War Corpse and Phantom Witch and State Line Empire all responded, and you, sir, responded. And Shasta responded, and The Bone responded, maybe. And then I was like, oh shit, the radio, they have suggestions. Yes, it worked. It worked. My plan. And networking. And and so it was really awesome, even for the bands that weren't able to do it because of radius clauses or whatever. You know, it was still like a great networking opportunity. I found some great local bands that I wouldn't have known otherwise. And just look forward to putting together another show and doing that thing again.
I'm sure after that post, you probably got like a spreadsheet now of like just all these different bands you can like refer to now. Just like, oh man, you got like your own little scene going. That must be awesome.
Well, the algorithm has fucked with my reach, so it wasn't. It's not that big. It's not a Rolodex. It's just like a screenshot, but it's
that's great. So James, actually, I forgot to give you a heads up here. So every time we have a new person on the podcast, I do ask 3 questions.
Okay.
I'm sorry I did not ask you in advance to prep, but I figure, okay, we'll get like more honest off the cuff response. So
bullshit, I'm out of here. Bye.
First question, all-time favorite wrestler.
Chris Jericho.
Okay. All-time favorite match to watch.
Oh, Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 19.
Okay, great. And then
probably that's off the top of my head, but
okay,
I can't think of any others off the top of my head that would be more. Vince McMahon versus the one leg kid at Vengeance.
Zach Gowen.
Zach Gowen, yeah, it was Zach something. 2004. Match is so messed up.
I know, it's so bad. God. That's the thing with like Instagram now. Like I'll scroll through and just people will isolate stuff or on Twitter. Just these different clips of wrestling from the last like 20, 25 years. And it's like, by today's standards, like, man, I don't know if that would work in today's world and stuff. It's fascinating to me. Just everything I've seen in the last, I mean, I was born in 83, so it's like, I've seen everything from the 80s, the 90s, the 00s to now. So it's like just the amount of stuff I've just seen with my eyes.
And some real bad. What would you have done if I said Mordecai? now all the worst ones are popping up. I'm like Mordecai, Heidenreich, Eugene.
Yes,
at a time, Eugene was my favorite. He was amazing.
What was that one guy's name? Was it Nathan Jones?
Nathan Jones. He was in a movie. He was in like kung fu movies.
Yeah, and then
he's in like Drunken Master or something.
That's right. Oh my god, dude, we can go down a whole rabbit hole.
Wasn't there was a WrestleMania? Maybe it was WrestleMania 19 where Taker faced like 3 people. It was like a handicap match. I think he faced like A-Train
and Big Show.
Big Show, man.
Oh yeah.
Or somebody, maybe it was Nathan Jones, but he got taken out in the back or something. I don't know.
That's right. Wasn't and then oh my god, now
it was a handicap match.
Yes.
Nathan Jones was supposed to be his partner or something.
That's right. That. Yes, you're right. You're right.
He came out towards the end and hit like a spin kick, like in the hallway.
Yeah.
He protected. He wasn't ready.
Yeah. So, and then the third question, James, is a wrestling bucket list. Something you would like to do in the pro wrestling world, like either something experience. I know that's a very broad statement or question, I should say. Like for me, like I personally, I would love to watch Wrestle Kingdom in Japan at the Tokyo Dome. That's like a personal goal of mine. I always would love to do that. You have any personal like wrestling bucket list that you would like to do? Either like perform in the ring yourself, or attend a special event, or anything in particular you would like to do.
Man, you know what? I've gotten to fortunately check off many bucket list items. I got to go to WrestleMania. I used to be a part of the Be a Star campaign with WWE just after Idol.
Yeah.
And so I got to go into schools and like talk about my experiences being bullied as a kid and like next to Rey Mysterio and David Otunga. And
nice.
And who else was there? The Miz and I can't remember their names, but just that. Then they flew me to Miami on their dime and gave me third row ringside behind the announcers at WrestleMania. What WrestleMania is? I have the chair. I don't know. It's back there.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, where it was Jericho. Maybe it was 29, 28, 29. It was Rock and Cena won. It was Jericho versus Punk for the WWE Championship. It was
28.
28. It was Triple H versus Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as guest referee in the Hell in a Cell.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Wow. That's like, wow. Okay, that's very cool. So
during the Raw versus SmackDown match, The Miz, when he made his entrance out, he came over to me and like he like jumped up on the like the what is it, the barricade. It was like, Durbin, come here, and I went over there and he gave me a hug. And the night before WrestleMania, I got to sit front row at the Hall of Fame with Chris Jericho and his wife.
What? Oh my god!
And so if you watch that Hall of Fame back, I'm blonde, by the way, but if you watch that, I look like Billy Idol, but nothing like Billy Idol. I look like Wish.com's version of Billy Idol.
Oh my god!
And they show camera was CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, so they're leading up to the following night, and that was the whole Drunkico, all that shit. And so they show CM Punk with Lita and Lars Fredrickson, and then they show Jericho with his wife Jessica and me. So it was like, it was cool.
Oh my god!
I don't know. There's so much stuff. I will say I would love to play the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, and I will be playing the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea in 2024. So
awesome!
Wow.
I'll have to think of another wrestling bucket list item, but honestly, it's I don't know, man. Backstage at house shows and right after Idol and getting to meet John Cena and getting to meet The Undertaker and Vince McMahon backstage at WrestleMania Hall of Fame, getting to little things, getting to just drive your car in the back ramp of the SAP Center and park down there and have like, me and Michael Hayes be all, hey James, good to see you again, and walking by in this fucking lime green zoot suit.
They go, dude.
Oh, fuck?
Oh, that's awesome.
There's so many more memories, man. We were on tour in St. Louis in, I forget what year it was, 2012. And we were on tour in St. Louis, 2012. And we happened to be there on a day off on the night of Raw 1000 and got to attend Raw 1000 on the hard cam side. We were second or third row behind Brock Lesnar's Jimmy John's people. Horrible people. But we were behind them, and they left right after Brock's segment, and those chairs were open. So we jumped forward. We wore tuxedos, and we were backstage eating Raw 1000 cupcakes, and I stole some napkins.
Man.
And CM Punk was there, and with Cena, and then The Rock comes out, and then Punk gives the GTS to The Rock. Like, we were losing our freaking minds. It was absolutely incredible. CM Punk gave me his WWE. Like, I got to hold CM Punk's legit WWE Championship fixed spinner belt. He was like, I'm tired of holding this. Here, you hold it. And I'm tired of carrying this fucking thing around. I think were his words. That same house show, The Miz brought over Dolph Ziggler, and I chopped him. John Cena threw his shirt to me. The Miz threw his shirt to me. I mean, like, gosh, there's just I love professional wrestling, and so it's just.
You just reminded me. I got to hold that title too. That's the one.
Is that Alex Riley?
Yes, it was. So, by the way, if you listen to the audio version of this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see the video version, this photo here, me with the Miz and Alex Riley. So that title. Oh my god! But no, that's awesome. Well, at least congrats on performing at Chris Jericho's next cruise next year. Yeah, that's it. Oh, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, I mean, you just brought up Lars Fredrickson of Rancid. Yeah, he's a Bay Area guy, but I see him at a lot of wrestling shows as well. So we got to get like a whole group together somehow one of these days, like a fun section.
My drummer from Durbin, Eric Peterson, Eric James Peterson, because there's another Eric Peterson.
Testament.
Exactly. So it gets confusing. Really? No, not that one. Eric James Peterson.
Okay.
But he does lights and stuff for the UGWA shows, the UTWA shows. So he's there. Oh, really? He's at all those.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh, damn. Small world after all. Oh, my God. That's awesome.
And Lita's doing stuff with that, I believe.
In Hood Slam. Hood Slam.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, she's makes appearances and all locally. Yeah. Well, James, we gotta get you. I know you're in Santa Cruz or
many wrestling connections.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Well, I know I want to do Jericho's cruise one of these days. He keeps saying, come on down. So I gotta logistically figure out how I can make it work. So maybe the next one will be a good one. Then I can see you perform there as well and cheer you on, all that stuff. But yeah, I was going to say real quick, I know we're running a little bit long here, but we'll get into the predictions second. But I was going to say we've met before, or at least been in the same area as many times when WWE comes to the Bay Area, usually at the SAP Center in San Jose. You and I are usually seated in the same section. I remember one time I was sitting there and you were like literally in the same row, just farther down. And someone said, it's James Durbin. And I was like, oh, okay. And I think I might have said hi to you real quick, just quick in passing. But yeah, no, it's just been really cool over the last few years or whatnot. Just you and I are usually in the same section for WWE shows, and even AEW as well. We get to see AEW back in March now already for Revolution at the Chase Center. That was awesome. So it's it's just so cool to find out that you're a big wrestling fan. And so needless to say, that's why I wanted to get you on for this predictions talk for SummerSlam. I'm super excited. I love SummerSlam. I know WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, but SummerSlam, really, WWE, to their credit, for the last few years, really trying to make it like a WrestleMania 2.0 vibe to it, and like a big show. I mean, I just remember growing up, it was bittersweet, because when SummerSlam was happening, it was like, oh, it's kind of the sign it's towards the end of summer and back to school is almost here. But I'm kind of glad they bumped it up a little bit. It's a little bit earlier in the summer now. But do you have any favorite SummerSlam moments in your watching over the years?
The one that pops in my head, which I was anticipating you were going to ask, the one that's popping into my head was I went to a SummerSlam in LA at the Staples Center.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know which one this would be, but I believe that it was when Daniel Bryan was working up to getting the title. I don't think it was the full Daniel Bryan Movement Mania. But it was kind of in there. I feel like it was him. And then they sent Randy Orton out there. And I don't know if he had the money in the bank or what.
Yeah.
Heartbroken.
And he just gave him an RKO and pinned him.
Yes.
Like, everyone was freaking out.
With Triple H as the ref, right?
Right.
Yes. Oh, my God.
And Brock Lesnar did something. And it was my first time seeing Brock Lesnar live. And he is a specimen.
He really is.
He is what my friends and I used to call the vanilla gorilla. he is built like an animal. And oh my gosh, it's terrifying, really. And then after the show, that was the show where John Cena injured his I I don't know if it was his elbow or his lat or something.
That's right.
But it swelled up.
Yes.
Pretty big apparently. We didn't know this, and my wife and we got a picture with him backstage, and like he was so gracious and so kind and so like just selfless, like taking pictures with people after people after people.
It's like
and
throbbing.
And I had no idea until that night you get on the sheets and it's like it shows the pictures, and I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so bad.
Oh my God.
But he's so nice. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. If I took a picture, but unfortunately, I don't know if there was something with the development of the photo, but you can't see him.
Wow.
Too easy.
Oh,
good night, everybody. Good night. Get top. God damn.
I'm like, what happened to the photo?
God. Oh, you got me choking on that one. That's a good one. Good one.
It worked.
Oh, man.
Brian, on that note, Brian, do you have a favorite SummerSlam moment or show?
Oh man. Let me think.
I'll give you mine. I remember growing SummerSlam '98, Stone Cold versus Undertaker, Madison Square Garden. But I just remember AC/DC Highway to Hell was the theme song. So every week that video package with the fire and just I'm on a highway to hell. Yeah. I mean, that was just awesome. I know it wasn't the best match. I know Stone Cold said in interviews he wished it was better. But I mean, for me as a kid, I ate it up. I loved it. It was just awesome. And it was Madison Square Garden, just legendary, just video package hype up. And then I know there's been some other great moments when obviously Shawn Michaels came out back from retirement, faced Triple H, Brock versus Rock as well. Yeah. So I mean, there's been so many great SummerSlam moments. I mean, '92, Bret Hart versus British Bulldog at Wembley Stadium. So I mean, SummerSlam has a special place in my heart. So needless to say, I am amped up for this Saturday show. Brian, is there any other SummerSlams that come to mind for you?
I'll say the Shawn Michaels returning against Triple H. That was a pretty big moment. I was a big Shawn Michaels guy, so that was really cool to see him come back and be sharp still,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Was that the brown pants?
No, that was Elimination Chamber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
That was the jeans and the tank top.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, God, James, I could go on.
What about 1995 Diesel versus King?
Mabel?
Oh
was
King Mabel? King Mabel. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wasn't that the same year it was Taker versus Taker?
No,
that was the year before.
Dude,
year before.
As a kid, I liked that match. I was like, oh my God, there's two Undertakers. Like, as a kid,
on brand.
Right? Like, I was like, oh my God, there's a purple one and there's a gray one. Like, which one's which? Like, gray was like his
it's like Ryu fighting Ryu,
Yes, like I loved it. I know it gets crapped on, nowadays, but like at the time as a kid, which keep in mind, that's been WWF's MO, is going for the kid audience. And so I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. Like,
I had to make sure I had a purple figure and a gray figure.
Yes. Fight it out. So, James.
That first Elimination Chamber, that was a SummerSlam.
Or was it Survivor Series? Was it SummerSlam? I'm trying to remember now. God,
SummerSlam 2003. There was an Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, let me double check.
Jericho, Goldberg, Kevin Nash, Orton.
That first Elimination Chamber was iconic as well. Just the competitors in that one. So,
dude, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels in the.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Was that the one he oversold everything?
Yeah. It was heinous.
Oh my God. I mean, Jericho as well. Oh my God, there's so many great moments there. But
WWE versus the Nexus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's so many. Oh man. Well, God, that's what we need to do. One of these days, we gotta get you, Jericho on, and we got to record. We got like share. I want to hear more stories of you and Jericho and stuff like that. One of these days, we'll make that work as well. I know he's been busy with everything. He was on vacation and stuff. So, but yes, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's talk SummerSlam this year, and it's gonna be back in the U.S. It's been since WrestleMania is the last premium live event, as they say, that was in America back in April, even though May was in Puerto Rico for Backlash, but that's a U.S. territory if you want to get all technical. But yeah, every other premium live event for the last couple of months has been out of the country. So back home in America, it's going to be a lot of fun. 8 matches. And I know a lot of people are a little bit disappointed with the card per se, as far as I know leading into it, it looked like based on storylines on Raw and SmackDown, it was going to be 4 women's matches for this show. Unfortunately, we're only going to get 2 matches. We'll talk about that. Charlotte, Bianca, Asuka for 1 title. And then we're also going to have Shayna versus Ronda. That's what's not going to happen this weekend is going to be Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. That's something they've been building up for months now. And then also Rhea Ripley versus Raquel. That's something else people thought was going to happen. Brian, I'll turn it to you first. Just kind of your thoughts on 2 of these women's matches for the time being are not going to be at SummerSlam. It look like they're going to happen at a later date.
Yeah. I think it was probably the right decision, because when you have this many matches on a card, I mean, there's already 8, right?
Yeah.
Something was going to have to get cut. Big matches like, Roman and Jay are going to get a lot of time. Rollins and Balor, they're going to give them time to do what they need to do. You don't want to cut too many matches times, right? And
yes,
I'm just looking at what are the most, as far as all the women's feuds that they have, what are the ones that matter the most in terms of what have been built the best, right? I don't think that Becky and Trish have been built that great. And what was the other one?
Rhea and Raquel is too quick. Yes.
I just feel like that only really started to go into like crazy development over the last week or 2, right? I mean, just 2 weeks ago, Raquel was tag team champion, right? So
yeah,
I feel like they gotta cook on that just a little bit more. Asuka, Bianca, Charlotte. They got Charlotte. That's for the WWE Women's World Championship. So I understand, that 3 of the best with one of the very best involved in that match. but no, no joke. All jokes aside, I mean, fans are mad, but I feel like fans would be even more mad had those matches been on the card and then they were cut for time. Due to whatever, so you've got a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, no, it's I get what you're saying. I do give WWE credit, or at least Triple H's credit, since his time in the last year. It's coming up a full year now. SummerSlam last year is when he kind of started as head of creative. As far as he likes to keep it normally 7 matches max per premium live event. This year we're getting 8, and that's partly because we got this battle royal that's been added on. That's tied to a sponsor with Slim Jim. So hey, when you got money coming in, you gotta make that magic.
Money, you got a legacy, that's what we got going on here. We're playing it all back in. We got years and years of dislocation, if you will.
Snap it to Slim Jim. But James, what are your thoughts on, instead of adding 2 more matches and make it 10? It seems like they're pretty firm on like 8's the max. Unfortunately, a couple got to get cut. Are you cool with it keeping it 8 and just kind of keep it a tighter, shorter show? Versus, WWE in the past, they used to do like these really long, like double-digit numbers, and AEW is known for all their double-digit number of matches per pay-per-view. Are you cool kind of them keeping it at 8? And unfortunately, it looks like a couple people are going to have to sit out this one.
I think it's I trust the man, and not that man, but I don't know. I kind of have trust in them, and they tend to know what they're doing, and even when they don't, they always make up for it. But yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. Is that like the Rhea Raquel thing is Rhea's focus is baby Dom. It's baby dirty Dom. So like that's her baby boy. She gotta protect him. And that's that's kind of where her main focus is at. And then the whole Raquel thing is like, okay, let's start to put these little sprinklings of something to give her to start defending and being a a working champion. There's plenty of people in line, but I also understand the need for growing new feuds. But it's I don't know. Rhea's such a great worker that I'd like to see something that it's not necessarily just one person. Like when Cena was doing the open US title challenge, when anybody's done an open, Seth Rollins said he was going to be a fighting champion. He's defended against Damian Priest. He's defended against Finn Balor. Finn Balor, and now again Finn Balor. This is the second or third time. So like we haven't really gotten what we wanted in all these different places. But I feel like for the women's matches, these are both women's matches that have been cut, is Becky and Trish. I don't know if it had the legs that they thought it was going to have. And
I think so. I agree with you there.
And, Trish was great. She was phenomenal. She was great for what we had at the time that we had her. There's only so much you can do with and I don't mean this in any disrespect, but with a legacy talent, with a WWE legend, there are limitations, and it really is about the draw. It's really about the money. It's really about the ratings. So it's different with these what are they called? Premium live events. So it is different with those because it is streaming and it's in perpetuity or whatever. But like it is also about they're trying to get that what's it called? What do we all want to do? They're trying to get that viral thing, and they're trying to capitalize on what people are talking about. Clearly, I guess people just aren't talking about Becky Lynch. It's kind of been like she was super, super like on fire for a while, and then like she's kind of plateaued here, and it's not necessarily she's like dipped too far, but it's it's I don't know, it's just not the content that people want, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I've not been fully invested in this rivalry between Becky and Trish. Partly it's just, Trish, her promos in the ring and her delivery. I have not been fully like engaged in it. Her delivery's been kind of flat to me. And so when you got Becky kind of going out there and kicking ass, was it on Miz TV a couple weeks ago? Told Miz, hey, I know what happens on your show. I'm gonna get attacked. Bring them out here now. And like, I like Becky taking charge and taking control, being aggressive, but Trish and her delivery, I have not been fully invested in it. And I know this has been something that's been brewing since February, when Trish came back and made a big return. Lita and Becky won the women's tag titles, and Trish was like the third wheel kind of in support, which ultimately led to, when they dropped the tag titles, that's when Trish turned heel on Becky and kind of set them up on this feud post WrestleMania. And I think the dirt sheets were reporting this is all leading to a big SummerSlam match. So I think in our minds for the last few months, we're all like just anticipating, when they're going to make this official. Unfortunately, this week on Raw, they had this quick little, squabble in the ring, and everyone thought that's the match. And then Adam Pearce says, "We'll save this for 2 weeks and on a Raw in Canada." And everyone's like, "What? Not at SummerSlam, but on Raw?" And everyone's kind of bummed. But
where is SummerSlam happening?
Detroit.
Okay, so they want to take this match with their legacy talent that is from Canada. That's a Canada native. And they want to take it off of Detroit, where neither one of them is really pushing numbers. Let's just assume. And so they take it and they're like, well, shit, we're going to be in Canada in 2 weeks. Let's do it in our home country. Win or lose, there's going to be heat. There's going to be viewers. People are going to be paying attention.
And this is a year their TV deal is going to be up. So what a great way to get a ratings boost on an episode of Raw when you got Hall of Famer versus like one of the bigger stars right now in the company.
Yeah.
That's a great way for maybe a ratings boost in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. But also, they had the match at Night of Champions, and that was Zoe Stark's big debut, and she's been in her corner with Trish Stratus ever since. And Zoe's been great so far. But other than that, I can see this match. Maybe they just realized this match does not have the right amount of attention or people talking about it, buzz that they thought. So they're probably like, okay, we got to unfortunately make a cut. We'll take this one off. And it sucks that Becky Lynch is one of the biggest names ever right now. She's not going to be at SummerSlam. But as we said, it could be a great thing for Raw in the coming weeks. I'm just trying to be optimistic here of like, okay, let's lead to a great match in a couple weeks. Now with Rhea and Raquel specifically, I know Rhea is probably one of the most popular people right now in that company as well. Brian, we were at WrestleMania. She had an amazing match with Charlotte. So it's just unfortunate she's not going to wrestle at SummerSlam. But as you said, unfortunately, her storyline, this is something kind of brewing very quickly with Raquel. Why force into it when you can maybe tell a little bit longer of a story and maybe save it for is it Payback's the next pay-per-view next month? So maybe they can save it till then. And so I'm okay with it. I'm not like, and then what I think, Brian, you said earlier, like what other matches would you cut right now? Everything else kind of seems a little more important right now. So, no, it's unfortunate. I think it would have been cool having 4 wins matches on the card, but unfortunate from a time constraint. I mean, if they have 10 matches plus everyone's ring entrances, Peacock runs commercials in between matches, this could turn into like a 5-hour show. So
exactly.
Roman Reigns
technical difficulty.
Roman Reigns has like a 30-minute entrance alone. So I get it. It's you got to cut for time and stuff. So
just think of the elders. The elders need time to get to wherever they're going to be if we get any elders.
Exactly. So. From a logistics standpoint, people in Detroit, what's the time zone, Midwest time. So, you got to think about, you don't want to be there till midnight for a show. No, you got to get home.
This isn't AEW Dynamite. Come on.
I know. Exactly. So it's, big picture, I see what they're doing here, and I hope they make it up to Becky. I hope we get Becky and Rhea at some point down the road as well. So we'll see what happens.
Well, but and real quick, Rollins and Riddle getting cut from SummerSlam last year.
Yes,
I mean their feud ended up working out just fine. After getting cut from one of that
Extreme Rules.
Moment.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
So
we'll see what happens. So I'm still happy. So let's go through the main card here. 8 matches. It was announced on SmackDown last week. There's going to be the SummerSlam Battle Royal sponsored by Slim Jim. LA Knight was pretty much the first person declared for this match. And then Brian, who else got announced?
Sheamus.
Oh, that's right. Sheamus confronted him and said, yeah. And then we got a couple more. Ciampa, Bronson.
Yep.
On Raw, they announced some more people. So we don't know the full lineup or how many people are actually going to be in this match. But James, I'll turn it to you. I mean, I think the single-hand favorite here is L.A. Knight. I mean, is there anyone else you can think who could win this?
Yeah. No.
Nada. I think this is LA Knight's match to win here. The only thing I could think of is they'll pull like a Money in the Bank and it looks like he's gonna win and they're gonna have someone else beat him or throw him out. But
I don't know if they'll hit that move again. I think they'll just piss people off. And it's there's only so far you can take those tricks.
Yeah, exactly. Brian, how about you? Who you got?
I'm going LA Knight. Yeah, I don't even know if he can go in there. He can go in the Battle Royal by himself and I'll be fine with them just playing his music at this point because I really don't see a need for anybody else to really win the SummerSlam Battle Royal.
I mean, I kind of wish. I mean, this match seemed like it was created for him, just so you have a reason for him to be on the card. His music hit, the crowd's gonna go crazy. I will admit, like I'm surprised this wasn't maybe just on the pre-show. They haven't done pre-show matches.
Is there a pre-show?
No, I mean there's a pre-show, but it's just the host talking. But they haven't done matches in like what, a year, Brian? So
yeah, ever since I think ever since Triple H took over, they kind of stopped doing the. I mean, they may have like maybe a few months before, but for sure, like during the Triple H, no kickoff matches.
That's something I meant to mention earlier. Is like I'm surprised maybe this Battle Royal wasn't on the kickoff show, and then have Becky, Trish on the main show as well. But oh well, I guess they're just like, hey, let's kickoff show, no more matches, save everything for the main show. But yeah, LA Knight has to be the winner, favorite to win this. Yeah. So we'll see. You know, any surprise? Yeah. They should, like, and that's the thing. What do you win?
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was gonna say the winner gets a United States Championship match on the same night. I thought that would have been cool, but
lifetime supply of Slim Jims. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Is LA Knight gonna become the new Slim Jim spokesman?
Oh my god, dude, that would be awesome.
He's like, all right, well, I'm doing The Rock, I'm doing Stone Cold. Might as well do Macho Man Slim Jim era.
Oh man,
the 3 count. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, this guy. I mean, no, it's LA Knight. It's amazing, this movement, the movement that's been going on.
It works.
It works. He's
People
awesome.
so mad about it. It's working.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Exactly.
It's over. It's putting asses in seats every fucking 14 inches.
Yes.
And they're getting a good door and they're doing good on merch and like I can keep milking it.
Yes, I mean, and like he needs to win. And I know the reports are saying he'll get a big push after SummerSlam, but it's like you got to do something. So hopefully, this will springboard him into his push after SummerSlam. So let him win here. Yeah. Do something with it after. The only thing I could think of is I know Brian, for the U.S. title, U.S. title is not going to be defended at SummerSlam. So Theory versus Santos is what, next week or the week after? It's coming up in the near future. Yeah. So I hope the winner of that then can face can face LA Knight. So that's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. It should be a lot of fun though. Battle Royals are always fun. So, all right. Next up, a feud that kind of just really came out of nowhere at Money in the Bank when Shayna Baszler turned on Ronda Rousey when she just beat up her teammate in the match and ultimately lost the women's tag title. So here we are. We're going to get it now. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. It was announced on Raw this week. It's going to be an MMA rules match, which I'm curious how that's going to work. Is it just, I was kind of hoping maybe it was going to be a fight pit type match. Like they'll bring a fight pit at SummerSlam, but no, it's just MMA rules. So how they're going to do that, we don't know. We'll see.
They could replace the ropes. You know, they could pull the ropes down or the turnbuckles and put up some sort of not an octagon, but a squared
cage. Yeah, like a little,
with the padded sides. They could lower it from the who knows? You know, I think the thing with this one is like, let's get these two apart. Let's let them just tear each other's heads off, you know, because they can legitimately fight. They both come from that background. I think Shayna's gonna carry the wrestling in the match if there is any. But it's gonna be interesting to see. Off the top of my head, thinking about MMA rules match, who was a champion, who wasn't. You know, are they gonna protect Ronda, which I feel like they should put over Shayna. I feel like Ronda has been proven to not be the success story that they had invested in her to be.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
So, but they're not gonna, you know, they still are getting a return. She has some fans wherever they are. So like they're clearly buying merch or something. I don't know. She's not that likable and her work hasn't gotten better and she can't talk. And I don't know who's putting makeup on her and doing her hair, but none of it works. It just looks childish, and it's like I'm gonna pout, a pouting thing. I'm still Rowdy Rodda Piper, and she's a Rowdy Rodney Pilish, you know.
No, James, you're right.
She's green. That's what she is.
Yeah, no, this second run of Ronda's has been very disappointing, underwhelming. Just it's really kind of amazing. Just I want to say not backwards, but like has not improved, gone forward with her character work and mic skills and just the in ring stuff. I mean, it's really like you said, it's been disappointing. And Brian, there's been reports coming out that Ronda has a hard out. Her contract is coming up to an end. Now, when is that end date? We're not sure. A lot of people are speculating it's going to be after SummerSlam. So a lot of people are using that as an indicator. Well, maybe she's going to lose and put her friend over, Shayna Baszler over. So my pick is Shayna Baszler to win here.
For sure.
Brian, how about yourself? How are you feeling? But before you go ahead, give your pick. But also I want to get your thoughts on Raw this week. Dude, this video packages for the two of them. That was like a UFC, like produced style video package. It was like a part 1 and part 2 where they were like both sitting there talking to the camera, like documentary style, like HBO style. And they were talking about both their point of views and like what it means. Like Shayna's explained that she lived with Ronda to help get Ronda be a champion. But then when Shayna needed help, Ronda was nowhere to be found. So you're like really getting sympathy for Shayna. And that's kind of been the big thing is Shayna turned on Ronda at Money in the Bank, but really people are kind of confused. Like, who's the babyface and who's the heel in all this? They're both got issues and both got pros and got cons. But your thoughts on the video package and who do you think is going to win here?
Yeah, and they were both crying. That's what got me in the video package. I'm like, wow, okay, I've been wanting something like this from Ronda for a long time to just tap into that emotion, right? And just give me some realism to it. I don't know, maybe it's because she's so comfortable with Shayna and that style of promoting, right, when it comes to fighting and things like that. Shayna Baszler, I really connected with her. I really feel like this really could and should be her moment. I'm not sure about her being a babyface down the road because she's been a great heel her entire career so far, but I think she's definitely the babyface in this feud with Ronda Rousey.
I was going to ask, what you thought. I'm glad you touched on it.
Definitely the babyface, and I'm going with Shayna to win it. I really hope she wins because I do think that Ronda, you would think, right, that this was the plan all along, right? Like she wants to put over her friend. She's on the way out. Look, let's do it the right way.
Yeah. So I'm with you there too. So it's just unfortunate that between these video packages that I wish they could have aired for the last couple weeks and really get emotionally involved.
They should have did the video package first after Money in the Bank instead of having them come out and scream at each other and
when Ronda was up in the suite, she's supposed to be the baby face, but she's talking crap to Shayna, and she looked like it was like a double turn in that one promo a couple weeks ago. And it feels very rushed. I mean, from Money in the Bank till now, in the last 4 weeks, they've been trying to tell this story, and it's something they could have stretched out for a lot longer. I mean, maybe this could be maybe let's see, Shayna wins here, Ronda goes away for a while, and then maybe signs a new deal at some point. Maybe they can renew this rivalry at some point. But I'm with you. I think Shayna is going to win here, and especially if she's going to be one that's sticking around, you got to get a big win for her. And I know Triple H loves Shayna. She was one of the toughest NXT Women's Champion for a couple years. So this is kind of a great way to kind of put her back at the top of the card. Next up, we got social media influencer Logan Paul taking on Ricochet. A rivalry that's been brewing since technically Royal Rumble, where they had that great spot where they springboard off the ropes into each other. Yep. And it's really been picking up a notch the last few weeks, and they're both having these great little promos in the ring. I'm happy for Ricochet getting like a singles run right now ever since Braun Strowman's been out injured. And he's been getting a time to shine, doing some more mic work, promos. I know he's not the best talker, but they're giving him an opportunity to work on that. And this is definitely going to be a high-flying, fun match here. James, what are your thoughts on Logan Paul's performance? It seems like finally they're letting him be the heel that U.S. audience wants to see. It's been very entertaining seeing him as a heel.
It's not what people want to see. It's what people know he is.
Exactly.
You know, when everyone knows you to be that piece of shit, like, don't pretend to be someone else because everyone knows that you're that piece of shit. Just be that piece of shit. Like, if you're already successful being that piece of shit, other places, why pretend to be, you know, Mike Tyson doesn't like you, you know, you're going to argue with Mike Tyson? No, you're not.
No,
you don't want to piss him off, you know. So if you can't get him, and he's even keel nowadays. So like, you know, whatever. I don't know what he's on, but he's right on. So
he's feeling good.
I want to be on that side. I want to be in his good graces, not Logan Paul's. But yeah, I mean, he's proven to be a great worker. You know, he can go. He's learned. He's put in the time. You can tell. I mean, you know, I'd say Bad Bunny's put in more time, but it's really cool that we get to experience like athletic celebrities these days getting in the ring, and not Jay Leno and Dennis Rodman. So like,
Hog Wild, baby.
Hog Wild.
I watched that live.
Oh man.
It was funny. I was watching Dark Side of the Ring last week for Bam Bam Bigelow, and they're talking about Lawrence Taylor, and you know, Lawrence Taylor was just retired from football at that point for that WrestleMania match, but he did not fully grasp the in-ring work. But you get like celebs now who are redefining what it means to be a celeb wrestler. But yeah, Logan Paul, to his credit, he can go. So WrestleMania last year in Dallas debuted with The Miz as a tag team. Then him and Miz fought each other last year at SummerSlam. Then him and Roman in Saudi Arabia. Great match there. He had the Royal Rumble appearance. He was at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. And now he's back for a match with Ricochet. So yeah, he in his handful of matches or in-ring appearances, he's been delivering. So
what a series of matches.
I imagine, and Brian, I imagine this match is going to go first, right? Because I think Logan Paul wants to get out right away and go to be at his brother's, jump on a plane and go to his brother's fight against Diaz in Texas this Saturday as well. So he's going to try to be at two places in one night. But Brian, where are you leaning on picks here? I'm leaning towards Logan Paul just because he needs a win. But how you're feeling?
I'm the same. Look, I really think this is WWE's opportunity to say, hey, we care about our guys, right? We don't think about our guys the way you think we think about our guys. And, you know, even if you're an outsider or celebrity or whatever, you got to pay your dues, right? And he's paid a lot of dues since coming in. I mean, he's lost a ton, like you said.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this match should go to Ricochet. It really should.
Really? Okay.
I feel like it should because, I mean, Logan Paul, he's looking at Ricochet like this match is going to be so easy for him. Okay. Probably the easiest one that he's had to date, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, when you think like that, it gets you in a little trouble every now and then, right? Like you think, I just feel like it's a great opportunity for Ricochet to get a big win. I believe this is his first singles match at SummerSlam.
I believe so. It's been a minute since he's really had a singles run. I mean, because I mean, him and Braun were such a thing for the first half of the year.
I mean, Logan can say anything. Logan can say anything, and if I'm not mistaken, Logan beat The Miz, right?
So yeah, he beat The Miz last year at SummerSlam, lost to Roman, got eliminated from Royal Rumble. He was one of the last ones there.
And then
lost to Seth.
Oh, yeah, he's good to lose.
Wait, and he lost Money in the Bank too. Technically, he was in the Money in the Bank. So he's due for a win theoretically. So I'm with you. I would love to see Ricochet win, But then again, keep in mind on Raw this week, that promo in the ring, Logan Paul said, hey, Ricochet, that's your fiance over there, right? Samantha Irvin, the announcer. How great would it be if I beat you? She says my name is the winner. And so to fulfill that prophecy, that's what I'm thinking. Logan Paul might win. And then Samantha Irvin has to they cut to her and she's got to say, the winner is Logan Paul, whatever. And maybe this could be the first of a series of matches. Maybe they give a rematch at Payback or something. So I'm with you, Brian. Like my heart wants Ricochet to win. He's a good guy, amazing talent, but my brain is like realistically, Logan Paul's due for a win, and so
that's true.
I know it's tough.
What a role! What a list of opponents for Logan Paul, though.
Here's what his entrance is going to be too. Remember at WrestleMania, he came flying down like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, the Charizard card.
Yes, I was curious what it's going to be. So
there's always there's always a Prime involvement.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally.
Getting destroyed or what?
He'll probably drive down in like a Prime wrapped muscle car or something. Yeah.
Well, the driver will be who's the guy in the Prime bottle, Brian? The other YouTube
KSI.
star?
KSI.
Okay. That'd probably be it. So all right, next up, probably the hardest hitting match of the night, the most painful match to watch that night for the IC title, Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be Gunther taking on Drew McIntyre, my boy Drew McIntyre, friend of the show. He's been on this show, I think, over 10 times, Brian. Drew McIntyre, our buddy.
I feel like this is one of the most difficult matches to book, too.
Yes and no. Yes, because Drew is a former WWE champion, former IC champion. You can make the argument that this is maybe Gunther's toughest opponent to date as IC champion. But back in my mind, they're all about breaking records. And Gunther is so close to breaking a Honky Tonk's man record. Honky Tonk is the only record left that's that hasn't been touched in 35 years now. Most of my life, it's been that Honky Tonk Man record that's existed. Everything else has been switched off and whatnot. I feel like they really want to break that record and change it up now. It's been long overdue. Honky Tonk is nearly 4 decades of that bragging right. It's it's time for a change, as Owen Hart would say. So as much as I love Drew McIntyre, he's our boy. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to win here. I think Gunther is going to win. It's going to be a hard-hitting match. It's going to be a lot of chops. It's going to be a lot of beef slapping beef. And James, how about you? Is there any chance in hell that Drew wins this one?
Yeah, there is a chance. There's always a chance with WWE. They might just be like, well, we owe it to Drew. But in the same sense as they do owe it to Drew, in my opinion. But I think that they're gonna, whoever takes the WWE Championship or the Universal Heavyweight, all that, the all that belt, is that it's I don't know. Maybe they'll save him for that because he recently signed a new contract, and you got to understand, there's probably reasons and create. Let's talk creative. Let's talk money. Let's talk. Then we've got a conversation, and it's. I think that they're gonna give it to. They're gonna keep it on Gunther.
Yeah,
it's just Honky Tonk Man is he's not a awesome person. So it's I know if you've ever met him, which
I've heard stories.
I'm sure most people have met him. So it's also they want to keep a good name with their records, I think too, and you can't protect the past. The past is it's some rocky territory. So there's stories on all those guys that are less than wonderful to today's ears and eyes. So I think that it's wise to keep it on Gunther, and he's just great. I just want to see him continue to slap the shit out of people, and we got to get what's his name, Ilya Dragunov. We got to get him main roster and get him back with Gunther, because him and Walter had some slap fests. It's like those slapping world championships, and it's just like, this guy's. Has there ever been like a lynching? Like, he just slapped him to death. Like, just slapped him and slapped him again and again and again and again. It's like, whoa, it's brutal. It was like, oh wow, like they really give a shit about their art, and it's I just want to see more of it. It
was if they can renew that rivalry on the big stage, like that was on NXT UK. Yeah, dude, I cannot wait for that. So I'm with you. I'm anticipating Triple H. I'm sure we'll want to bring that back up at some point. But yeah, I'm with you. I think Gunther just retained. It's going to be a hard-hitting match. It's going to be a big challenge for Gunther to win. Drew will put on an amazing match, and I'm sure Gunther will then be in smooth sailing on beating or breaking the record, which he rightfully deserves so. And I'll be very happy for him. And then for Drew, I do hope at some point they let him win a title in front of an audience. That's still my big, my one issue with WWE is just, it was so bumming that he won the WWE title in front of no one, in front of the Performance Center. I hope one day they give him a second chance. He deserves it in front of 60, 70,000 people winning a WWE championship of some sort. So I'm all for that at some point for Drew. That's my one wish for one of these days. So, but yeah, no, this match is gonna be a lot of fun though, no matter what. So, all right, for the WWE Women's Championship, you got Asuka defending against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Triple threat match here. Guys, this might be the toughest one to call. One, obviously, because it's a triple threat match. Two, you got Io Sky lurking in the background with the Money in the Bank briefcase. So that's another element. We don't know what could happen here. Brian, I'll turn to you first because you are Charlotte's biggest fan. I have no doubt your pick is going to be Charlotte, but please explain yourself.
So normally I would pick Charlotte Flair to win this match.
Okay.
But I know that she's there because she's Charlotte Flair. And, regardless of what people may think, I don't think she's here to win right now.
Okay.
Eventually, maybe. But I really think that this match is set up specifically for Io Sky to cash in. They've been teasing it. Yeah. You've got Payback coming up. I feel like that'd be a nice way to get Asuka back in there. We finally get Asuka, Io Sky for the championship. And then, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair. I really feel like the way that they can set this up is to have Bianca and Charlotte Flair kind of, because everyone's been saying for the past few weeks, everyone's forgetting about Asuka. They're focusing on Charlotte and Bianca too much. Asuka's in the back burner. No one cares about Asuka. Well, that might play into, on the good side for Asuka, right? But then at the same time, Asuka probably feels like she scared Io off, on that little segment they had backstage down like a week ago. And so, I don't know. I just feel like it's set up so that Io could win, but like everybody else could still look good. And I would like if Charlotte won the championship. I know everyone would just love it.
James, how about you? Where are you kind of leaning towards?
I'm watch. I'm like, it's about time Charlotte gets some gold.
She just had it. She just had the title but to WrestleMania. Damn it, Brian. James, how about you? Where are you kind of leaning towards in this triple threat here?
I think Asuka. I think she's got more to prove as a champion. Again, a fighting champion. With Io Sky on the horizon.
Sky on the horizon. Yeah.
I think that that's been brewing for a long time. And to just see there's this thing that AEW does. They just present, not for women, but they just present wrestling, just wrestling matches. Unfortunately not for women. Like, there's always got to be a story or something. Like, just show us some fucking wrestling. Like, just let them go at it. Let them showcase something. Like a few weeks ago, there was Rhea Ripley defended against Natty Neidhart, and like it was a hard hitting match, and it was just wrestling, and it was like a match for the sake of a match, and just let's see some wrestling. Like, side note, I went to an AEW. I was thinking about going to an AEW show before. I went to a closer AEW show. I was like, I drive 3 hours to go to Fresno to see AEW? Yeah. Then they announced the match card. It was Bryan Danielson versus Bandito. And I was like, oh my God, I can have the opportunity to see that match live and in person. Of course I'm going. And it was Darby Allin versus the Back to the Future guy.
Kushida?
Kushida.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kushida. So I drove 3 hours to go see it because I wanted to experience the wrestling, and it was worth it to experience the wrestling. I just feel like there's a lot more that Asuka has as a worker of like with her past of just being a hard-hitting, strong style, just going for it wrestler, professional wrestler, great professional wrestler, maybe more than she is a sports entertainer if we get into that conversation. So, you know, allowing wrestlers to be those who can and should be wrestling, you know, let them wrestle. Like, we get a little bit with Tommaso Ciampa, we get a little bit here and there, we get a little bit there, but like, just let them wrestle. Give us some wrestling. You know, there's the side of it, the bloodline stuff or the Cody stuff, where like the in-ring promo stuff. And you're like, oh, this is wrestling too. But like the meat and potatoes of like, that's the potatoes, the promo, and the meat is just entertain us.
Yeah, you know? I'm with you. I wish all three just go balls to the wall here and just, you know, take turns beating the crap out of each other. James, I'm out of those three, I love Asuka. She is my favorite. Fun fact, when remember it was at TLC, it was at the SAP Center a few years ago. Asuka was in that triple threat with Becky and Charlotte. Asuka won the SmackDown Women's title. I jumped up. I was like, yes! Oh my God! I was so happy to see Asuka get that big win over those two ladies at the time. And I do see. Bianca and Charlotte fighting for an opportunity to face Asuka. That's been the main story over on SmackDown for the last month, while Asuka's kind of been in the background just waiting for an opponent. I really hope Asuka does shine here, like you just mentioned. I guess kind of wonder if Charlotte and Bianca are going to kind of cancel each other out, and that could give Asuka the edge to win. My heart is one Asuka to win. I just kind of wonder, though, from a numbers standpoint, they just want Charlotte to get another title reign, even if it's for like 30 seconds on paper. It's another title reign, one more closer to her dad breaking that record. And I could see Io coming in. Charlotte can win it and be champion for like 2 minutes. Io comes in and you know, capitalizes and wins the title there. And,
that would be sweet.
But so technically Charlotte gets another title reign, even though, if like it said, it's 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever it is. It's one more. It's number 15 for her. And then, Io can win. And then, Brian, you said, I think that's a great idea. Io and Asuka then can go off into a new program. And then, Bianca and Charlotte can do their thing some more, continue that storyline. Or does Io come in early, insert herself, make it a 4-way match, fatal 4-way? I mean, there's so many different possibilities here. But with the triple threat, kind of, you know, Brian, we saw with... was it Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed? You know, how was it? If I remember, Bobby took out Bronson and Austin was able to take Bronson. You know, I'm kind of wondering if there'd be like a little bit of a domino effect here where, you know, Bianca could KOD one person and Asuka could do something to someone else. And then Io could come in there and like everyone's hit finishers on each other. So that's what the triple threat, there's that really unknown aspect of this match, which could be very, very interesting to watch. And then Io. And then, you know, there are other factors too. Like, you know, Brian, we saw on NXT last night, Cora Jade was saying goodbye to everyone. Like, could Cora Jade, I'm just throwing it out there. There's been no reports that I know of, but like, you know, could there be some NXT people to come get involved in this show? I don't know. I'm just, you know, spinballing. They're just, there's so many different possibilities here. But
good point.
I want Asuka to win. But I do that. There's that unknown with Io there as well. I have a feeling Io's going to walk out as champion at the end of the night. So we'll see. I don't know. It's tough to tell. It's really tough, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, we got a couple more here. For the World Heavyweight Championship, we got Seth freaking Rollins defending against Finn Balor. It's a rematch from Money in the Bank. Kind of similar situation here with the women's match. Io missed Money in the Bank. For this match, you got Damian Priest. I was gonna say Mr. I was gonna Senor Money in the Bank here. James, yeah, it's this is really tough to call because Seth just won that title, the first title, or he's the first person to hold this title since was it Saudi Arabia back in May, so it's a little over 2 months now. But man, I have a feeling Finn's walking out as champion. How about you? What are your thoughts on who can win this match?
I have a feeling that Finn might come out of the pinfall as champion. I'm not sure who's walking out as champion.
Yeah, that's a good
because
point.
Rhea isn't involved in a match per se. On the card, but she's the ultimate opportunist.
Yes,
right here. She's definitely has her finger on the pulse. So she's the one. She's the puppet master. She is controlling everyone, and she took Edge's spot. So like she's the leader of Judgment Day. Essentially, that's the way I look at it. And I think by any means necessary. It is going to get tricky with Damian Priest. I don't want them to break up the Judgment Day. I feel like they can keep something together longer and without having to like break it up. But maybe there's some family, agreement or something. I would like that. It's kind of like what I don't know if you saw. I saw a clip on Instagram, but like MJF and Adam Cole. Spoiler alert. On Dynamite, he was like, "No, you don't get a match. You deserve a match at the biggest at Wembley. Yeah, it's for you." So like, maybe Finn would be like, "All right, I'll give you a match. What we're gonna do? I'll give you a match right here."
I'm with you. Like, I really want Finn to win here. I would like to see him win a world title on the main roster. I know he's been a great NXT champion in the past a couple times. Well, obviously, one-day champion is Universal champion 7 years ago. I really want to see him get a world title reign and see what he can do with that on the main roster. He deserves it. He's one of the all-time greats of this generation. I can see him winning here. Seth, back in my mind, Seth did that interview with Logan Paul recently. He's talking about all the injuries he's been dealing with. And I could see Seth maybe taking some time off and just healing, come back at the Royal Rumble, make a big appearance there, big return there. But I'd like to see Finn win, be champion, and then you're right. I think Judgment Day, they should not break them up. I think, especially with the bloodline kind of winding down in existence, I think Triple H likes factions. Obviously, he came from DX and Evolution. He likes factions existing in WWE. So let Judgment Day keep ruling Monday Night Raw like they've been doing. But right now, Dom's got the NXT North American title. Rhea's got her world title. Damian, his trophy right now is the briefcase. Let Finn be world champion. So all of them, for photo purposes, they all look good with their respected trophies, accomplishments. So I want to see Finn really win here. Now, granted, where's Damian fall into all this? As we know, at Money in the Bank, he kind of looked like he was going to get involved, but he didn't. And ultimately that cost Finn the match with Seth. Then this week on Raw, Brian, Damian wanted the briefcase, but Finn stalled giving the briefcase, and ultimately he didn't give it to him. So now it's like, I wonder if Damian maybe he does cash in, but maybe it's a failed cash in as well. Could it be a failed cash in and Finn still wins that way? Like Damian failed cash in, but he helped help Finn win here. So I want to see Finn win here. I just want to see something different. I want to see Finn, what he can do as a world champion, especially with Roman being the WWE Universal Champion over on SmackDown. I think this World Heavyweight title on Raw, its purpose maybe to, not to say hot potato, but jump around from champion a little bit more often, because over at SmackDown, it's been one champion for 3 years. Raw can be the opposite, where it's a lot more shorter title reigns. So I don't know how you feeling, Brian, and how this match can play out.
I feel like WWE more often lately, probably than ever, they have these really great problems. And you know, like this problem of who should win, Seth Rollins or Finn Balor, right? And you can make every argument in the world where Seth Rollins could could and should retain. But I was listening to the same podcast, Huey, and where he was talking about his injuries and, you know, him being a little banged up. I'm like, well, this might be your opportunity to get right so that nothing bad happens, you know, a little closer to where it could jeopardize you missing Mania or, you know, Rumble or anything like that. You got some time to kind of fix yourself up. And one thing that WWE doesn't really do very often is, you know, strike while it's hot, you know, right?
Yeah.
Finn Balor, the Judgment Day, you know, you guys have, I'm sure, seen the reports of how the higher ups have been pleased with the Judgment Day. And I mean, obviously they had to get Dom some gold, right? So he's the North American champion. So I'm with you. I think it's the perfect time to give Finn Balor that win at SummerSlam, right? Finally, he gets that big win, that revenge on Seth Rollins. And then, I mean, there's no better way to open up Monday Night Raw. You've been telling us and showing us for months the Judgment Day. They've been saying it. The Judgment Day runs Raw. Now they run all of WWE. I mean, I feel like it'd be perfect. And maybe you could have Damian Priest getting ready to cash in, but this time Finn Balor's not so distracted as Seth may think. And then maybe, you know, he outsmarts Seth. Maybe Seth tries to go to hit Finn, and Finn, you know, ducks. He hits Priest, and then that's how Finn Balor wins the championship, right? Maybe maybe Damian Priest costs Seth Rollins this time. And then you can mix it up and set up a whole bunch of stuff going forward. But even if it's just for a few days or, you know, a few weeks, Finn Balor should be World Heavyweight Champion after Saturday.
Yeah. So
can you imagine if because he won the original, like he won the original Universal title. How long was he champion before he had to relinquish it? 24 hours, basically. Can you imagine if he won the title and then, is that your dad?
That's my brother Tommy.
Brother Tommy, I'm glad you're wearing pants.
Yeah.
Callback. It's just a super highway right there.
That's how, when you record from home, you got all family members pop in. I need to put some locks on the door.
I'm like, normally my kids, you just see my kid, one of my kids peek in and grab a drink or something. I have a 14-month-old. I'm surprised he's not in here running around right now.
But yeah, no, I really think, you know, Damian Priest, what he does at SummerSlam can add some great tension and storylines for Judgment Day. But yes, I'm with you. Do not break up the Judgment Day yet. There's a lot of legs there.
James, that's a good point you brought up about Finn Balor, you know, only being champion, what is it, 24 hours? Roughly 24 hours. So like, that's crazy. Imagine if that does happen to him again.
He wins and then Damian cashes on him. So he has like two wins to combine.
Oh man, that would suck.
Oh my god, no, it's gonna be interesting, and like I said, we'll see what happens here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, we got two more matches. Let's power through these real quick. These two, I think, are pretty obvious who the winner's gonna be, but we'll discuss them. First up, Cody Rhodes taking on Brock Lesnar. The rubber match between the three of them. They had their first match after Brock turned on Cody the night after the Raw after Mania. So what was it? Payback. They had their match. Then they had another match in Saudi Arabia, and it's the third match here. Brian, what are your thoughts on the build for this? I feel like it's kind of been paint by the numbers, kind of going through the motions. It's been like Cody cuts a promo one week, then Brock shows up another week and beats him up, walks away. Then Cody cuts another promo. Brock shows up another week, beats him up, and runs away. Beat him up a couple weeks ago in Georgia from his family, Cody's family. It's been very by the book. We still don't know what Brock's motivation for turning on Cody a few months ago now, but I guess this is all part of the story of Cody going through some more challenges. So the one day when he does maybe beat Roman next year, he's gone through more challenges to earn that title. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this build?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a lot of the same stuff over and over. And while it's been nice to see Cody Rhodes come out there every week and cut promos and hear the crowd go, "Whoa!" Right?
I just the little girls making their mamas cry.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's been great, man. But it's just we still don't even have a reason, right? Like why? I was thinking like there's some way we've got to get something like maybe Paul Heyman paid Lesnar to just take Cody Rhodes out because he knows that he was this close
to beating Roman.
To beating Roman. So there's one guy who I know who could just take him out so we don't have to worry about him ever trying to get in the way of what we got going on over here. That would have been nice.
Oh, that would have been great.
How you feeling, James? I mean,
that's why I like conversations like this. Sorry to cut you off.
This is fantasy booking.
You consider things, other people consider things you would have never considered, and that's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, it's like with the Finn Balor thing, and like they can tell a greater story. They can bring it back around, but like you're saying, like let's feed him the beast, and then you outsmart the beast, and the beast beats the shit out of you. Then you've learned one more time, you say. So now we've got to have the rubber match. So, like, of course, for Cody, it's eventually finishing the story. Will anyone give a shit by then? But, like, it's to finish the story. Like, I've got to, like, it'd be cool if he had, like, I don't know, like was it Cody that did the checklist? Didn't he write a list when he left WWE?
Yes, exactly.
He should bring back a list. Make it about a list. Make it about like I in order for me to be the best and know that I'm the best and know that I deserve to be the champion and that I've earned my right at the top of the mountain, I need to defeat the beast that lies at the foot. I it's like it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's a Dio album. It's like it's Manowar. Yeah. Like just go for it. He's got that list, that whole list thing in his back pocket, if you will. And like harkening back to that, we saw CM Punk on Collision, like recall, old is new. But like there's Cody actually has, meat with that list. So I think like if it's more iterated that's his point and his purpose, I feel like he did that a little bit on Raw, where he was like, this is about beating the beast. If you want to get to that next level around here, you've got to conquer the beast. Yeah. And, all the people holding the big gold in WWE right now have conquered the beast.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Cody hasn't. Point. Brock Lesnar is in, he could appear at any time, but for all intents and purposes, he's in the rearview mirror of Seth Rollins. He's in the rearview mirror of Roman Reigns. And so, somebody calls him out. I'm going to show up. Yeah. You got my check in hand, buddy. Like, you got your finger on the Zelle app for that direct deposit, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's going straight into the account and it's back to Saskatoon for me and Sable. Like
I was going to say, Sable's waiting.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth, but
get some more seasoning. His seasoning's really good. I was just saying. Yeah, but no, I'm with you. I think Cody Rhodes wins here. I'm surprised they didn't add stipulation because it's a third match. So it looks like it's just a straight up one-on-one match here. Oh. I hope Cody gets a clean victory because Brian was a Backlash. It was how did he beat Brock again? Wasn't that just was it the Brock I can't remember. Cody passed out in Saudi Arabia, but it was not like it was a little bit of a wonky finish. But I hope Cody, just point being, wins clean here and then moves on. Now, where he goes from here, that's a whole nother question. There are reports that maybe Bray Wyatt is going to show up. Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I just get this match over with and then let them move on. Let Cody move on to something else. And I'm curious where they go with him post-summer, fall, winter season with him leading up to next year's WrestleMania. So we shall see. All right, last but not least. Oh, yeah, go ahead, James.
I just want to say one last thing is I wish that they had put a stipulation on this match, made it a submission match, and then put the real exclamation point on this because Brock hasn't tapped in a match in a long time.
I was going to say.
It's been like 20 years.
Has it really been that long now? Like I'm just
he tapped to Kurt Angle. He tapped to maybe it was Kurt Angle a few times back in
was it that
2002 or 3? That was the last time he tapped out to a match.
Let's see.
Wow.
That's right. I'm looking at Backlash. That's right. Lesnar applied the Kimura lock on Rhodes. Cody countered by shifting his weight into leverage pin to beat Lesnar at Backlash. So it was kind of a fluke flipped over thing. Okay. All right. Last but not least, the main event here for the undisputed, even though it's not undisputed, there is another world title, but it's the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, taking on his cousin Jey Uso in a tribal combat match here. Now, James, I'll let you start. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I don't think Jey has a chance in hell he's going to win here. I think Roman retains. If and when he does lose that title, it's going to be on the biggest stage at a WrestleMania, probably next year. But I'm sure Jay's going to put a hell of a match here, a fight here. But yeah, I think Roman's retaining. How are you feeling?
There's a big team on this. Like Roman, the Usos, Solo now, Paul Heyman, Triple H, whoever else is really high up, Vince probably, super head of creative. And whoever their producer is. And so like, you've got to know that those are the people that are making the decisions here. And at any point they could have made the other choice. So I have no idea. I have no prediction, and that's not being safe and copping out. I have no idea. I've had no idea with anything with the bloodline for like 3 years. Every time you think, I thought that Drew McIntyre was going to win it at Clash of the Castle.
Me too.
It was the fucking perfect storm. You'd think that was huge, home country, massive show. Like this is the most fire, a fucking sword in the mat, like whatever it was. Like it was over the top, and like to just have Drew just throwing the thing around, like just going for it. Like you thought that was going to be the moment. You thought Cody was going to be the moment, and it's like maybe it's because you don't think Jay's going to be the moment. Maybe they will sweep the rug out from under him. They've got the elders there. Maybe they take the title off of him. Maybe the real head of the table comes to the table and makes Roman lose the match. Perhaps, and then it sets up Roman versus the real head of the table, whoever that may be. There's something they can do with it. There's an elder that could disagree. Or, how do the elders come into play here with the advisor, with Jimmy, with Solo, Does Dwayne make an appearance? Does the mom make an appearance?
No, you brought up a good point before I forget is side note, Brian, are they going to do a Grayson Waller effect TV segment here?
They didn't.
Was that rumored or?
It was rumored. It was tied to LA Knight, but I think ever since they announced the Battle Royal, they kind of just went away with it.
Okay, so we've seen Grayson Waller and The Rock going back and forth on Twitter and other stuff. What are the chances The Rock does show up and hits a rock bomb on Grayson Waller? I mean, I think a lot of people want to see that. The other could be maybe Stone Cold shows up and stuns him. We haven't talked about Grayson Waller, but I wonder if he'll be in the Battle Royal or have an own segment involved with something. He had the great segment with John Cena at Money in the Bank. So, yeah, maybe The Rock could. I mean, maybe double duty, takes out Grayson Waller, then helps out in the main event somehow. I don't know. But yeah, you brought up a good point, James, of Dwayne making an appearance. But Brian, what are your thoughts on the build for this? So it posts Money in the Bank. Things started picking up. Roman got pissed, took out Jimmy, destroyed him. That's how they wrote him off TV. And then
baby,
there's the baby.
It's a baby.
Is I hear? And then
there he is. Oh man, so
but in the last couple of weeks, it's been kind of been okay. Like they had the contract signing or a couple weeks ago where Jay just said it's gonna be tribal combat, and then Jay had the match last week. Grayson Waller and Roman and Solo beat him up. So it's been kind of like going through the motions the last couple of weeks. So I don't know. You think they've done a good job of building up Jay as a legit threat to beat Roman Reigns here?
Yeah. He's mad.
Is he a Roman fan?
He is mad. He's like, the family should not be fighting. I think the build for this has been executed well. Whenever they do something with the bloodline, right? And I feel like, oh, he wants to come back. He's back. Okay. Every time something happens with the bloodline, and I feel like, all right, this is kind of getting weird. I don't know where this is going. They surprise me, right? And I think they surprised all of us with how I thought that they were going to go with Jimmy going up against Roman, and Jay was going to join Roman, and then eventually they'll get back together. It's incredible how they're able to twist and turn and make us think one thing and then another thing happens. I think this is a perfect stage. It's laid out and it's set perfectly for Jay to finally beat his cousin and become the tribal chief, right? Become the undisputed universal champion. But it's so hard. Like, I just don't. There's no way. Like, this is not to call it a random SummerSlam, but it's just so out of nowhere. It's so random. Like, right? Like,
well, I was gonna say Roman has not had like a clean victory in over a year, and his matches have all had the bloodline help him out win. So I anticipate it's gonna be an overbooked finish. I'm sure Jimmy's gonna make a big return, try to help Jay. Paul Heyman's gonna get involved. Soul's gonna get involved somehow. James, I'm with you. Maybe like have other members of the family ringside, have Rikishi there or something.
I feel like
all get involved.
I feel like what they should do is they should have. I've been thinking this for the last few weeks. I feel like if Jay's not going to win, they got to do something to let us think that he won.
Yes,
right. Maybe a false like a 1, 2, 3, right. And then he's celebrating, the crowd's going crazy, and then suddenly it's like, oh, no. Actually, something. I don't know what they can think of. I don't know. Get Nick Patrick out there or something. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's a name.
How about a callback there?
Wow. Oh, my God.
I'm not sure, man.
It's like I said, I'm sure Roman's going to retain. Jay's going to put up a hell of a fight. And, it's probably going to be really overbooked. I don't know if we'll ever see Roman win cleanly again with this title reign right now, because we're so used to him getting help from people and Solo, especially now, since that's really all he has left with him with Paul Heyman. It's probably going to be if Roman wins, he's going to get delayed. Is that what it's called, right? Gets laid, or what's it called?
Laid.
Yeah, delayed. Yeah.
So he gets that on him with the belts and all that stuff. So. I'm sure it's going to be a very fun main event, but Roman's going to win and walk out there. And then, we'll see where he goes next. It's going to be, I'm really excited for SummerSlam this year. I think it's going to be a lot of great stuff there. And, we'll see what other surprises could happen. And, a Rock appearance, maybe Bray Wyatt, like we mentioned earlier. So, no, there's going to be a lot of stuff there. So,
I was hoping Randy too, but I seen the report.
Oh, Randy Orton too. But
Randy.
But his back is.
Hey, Randy.
Oh my God, this has been way too fun. Oh man, well on that note, let's start wrapping things up. That was our SummerSlam 2023 predictions here. That was it's so much fun. So James, dude, thank you so much for making the time tonight. It was amazing. Gotta have you on again on a regular basis. You have so much knowledge to share with everyone. So please, use this moment to plug your socials, any other project or things you got coming up music wise, and where people can follow you and listen to all your great music.
Thank you. Yeah, it's thanks for having me. I had fun. I talk a lot. That's my double-edged sword. Because I can go, but I like to go because I like to try and find random shit to say that makes me laugh, and hopefully it strikes a chord and makes somebody else laugh too, and I don't just sit here feeling like an asshole. But my socials, Instagram, they're different. But that's Instagram is at James Durbin Official. It's also my website, jamesdurbinofficial.com, which needs to be updated. Facebook.com/Durbin Rock. Twitter is lame, but I'm on there.
Or X now, right? It's just X.
Is it X? I haven't been on.
Oh man,
it's a vortex of negativity. So
it really is.
I've quit cold turkey several months ago, but it's still there at Durbin Rock, and I do stuff. I do stuff.
We'll follow you on social because you have a show coming up in August.
Follow me on Bands in Town.
Okay,
that's a great way to know where I'm playing and which ones you can go to. So, yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me so much. Check out Durbin. It's not searchable by searching James Durbin currently, but there's great James Durbin music. He said humbly, and there's in my also humble opinion, there's better Durbin music. Durbin as well as Clean Break, which is another side project I have. But
nice.
I just love making music. So whether it's discoverable or less discoverable, it's I love doing it and living the dream.
Gotcha.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. We're gonna get you back on real soon.
Yeah,
Brian, how about you?
Yeah.
Where can the Kliqsters find you online?
Kliqsters can find me at Twitter, Instagram, Threads, I don't know, X, whatever else is out there. At BrianTronic. I've been a little absent from there lately too, but I'll try and ramp it up this weekend for SummerSlam.
Which one?
Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, I know. I gotta get back into the live tweeting for that stuff. Or posting now. They rename I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Can't keep track of all that stuff. But yes, I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey 83 for everything else. Follow us at In The Kliq on social media. Email us inthekliq@gmail.com. Please subscribe to us where we get your podcasts at. If you were listening to this, the audio version, please watch the video version over on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I apologize for everyone probably looking at me like, what happened to my face? I had a bad sunburn from this weekend, so I've been self-conscious. Dude, I had
Were
on.
you wearing goggles?
I had my glasses on, or my sunglasses on, so you can see. This is why you need to watch the YouTube version of In The Kliq, because you can see my mug and my bad tan line right now.
You look like 80s Sting with that makeup there. I like it. You're rocking it.
Thank you.
Making it work for you.
All right, well, have fun watching Summer of the Sun this week. We'll do a review after. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.